guys, and welcome. I'm the Seven Swords, and we are back in Skyrim, in Azura's Caves. At least I think that's what these are called. It has been a minute since I last played, and unlike my usual, I did not bother to watch the last episode, or at least the end of it, to see where I was at. I kind of am remembering where we're at. Um, we've come to this bridge on our way to the hidden city, which we're still looking for. I'm kind of hoping we're getting close to it because there are other things I'd like to take care of eventually. I found a bug. There are other things I'd like to take care of eventually. Um, Mostly dealing with some of the other quests on the surface of Skyrim. But I am not wanting to. I apologize, my mic was quite a bit away from my mouth. But I do not want to cut this short because I am enjoying this underground area. I think my main reason for it is because I've thought of a couple of different things um, to help motivate Sarah to different directions once she discovers. But we have to keep going. Not to mention I did some other stuff that gave me some ideas of what Sarah's going to want to do late game. But as of right now, she's still just exploring around this area, trying to figure out what this place is. I am tempted to jump into that water just to see if there's anything down there. But in the same regard, I do not think there's going to be. We'll go ahead for a quick swim. It's not even that deep. And you can't get to the other side of the bridge. Not going to bother catching some fish. Alright, yeah, let's keep going. Again, I can definitely say I'm happy that we have, just normal Skyrim music, so I don't have to worry about the copyright problems again. Not that I did not enjoy that music, and from what I saw of the videos, since I did re-listen to them, you get some of the music, it's just all weird because of YouTube's algorithm, kind of me choosing to have them remove it instead of, oh, hello.
Your skin's as pale as this. Don't like those eyes you got. There's a bad hunger to them.
I don't know if I like you. What are you doing here? That makes me think we're getting closer to the end. I was expecting that if she was going to be here, that there'd be a person here I could talk to. I think we've seen this like a handful of times. Situation report. Commander, we found the front end of the portal, of the patrol. It seems that the cave-in ahead blocked the path. One of the scouts found a mine that will take us around it. However, it happens to be infested with darn spiders. The scouts are requesting reinforcements and need assistance immediately. Okay, so we have spiders to deal with again. Great. I'd always head back to the surface temporarily at the next possible junction with the surface. I can only imagine we're going to run into more of those. I'm wondering if we need to keep going that way, but I'm curious what this is. Especially since they said that it was blocked by a cave-in. This doesn't look like blocked by a cave-in, but now this confuses me because this is our third campsite in this area with one fisherman who's just randomly standing there not doing anything. I can understand not having too many NPCs with voice acting because, well, obviously you wouldn't want to overburden yourself with voice actors. But I do kind of wish there was more of an explanation of, like, what's going on here. Refined malachite, ebony, gold, and orichalcum, all unclaimed. Interesting. Quite a bit of carry weight, too. We'll take the lockpicks, we'll take the gold, and we'll take the stamina potion, and we'll take all the ingots. Sarah does not mind stealing. She's gotten past that adversity, especially since right now she's pretty sure the fisherman's not going to try and stop her, and it doesn't seem like there's anybody of importance around. I think it's a situation of the fisherman just refuses to talk to her. Like, she only makes those generic comments, so she, like, won't tell her what's going on. Just tell her that she probably shouldn't be there, and that she should keep moving. Probably also gets the feeling of that would probably be best for her anyways. Especially since she still has a long way to go, as far as she can tell. Can't tell how close we're getting to the end of this, and I've never done this quest line. I've played a couple of other characters just to test a few other things in Skyrim to see what I thought about them. I just noticed that the marker on our compass is brand new, so that's interesting. Well, looks like the caravan was attacked. Here's a Nord. Wish that they had like mission orders or something like that, where we could figure out what the heck they were doing. Well, well, well. Hey, a couple of bears and a saber cat. I am starting to feel like one of my favorite type of anime protagonists in a TV in one of the animes that I watch, where like she's powerful enough that she's like just calmly like flicks her wrist and does things greater than most mages. Makes sense with her with the fact that she's gotten to the fact that she's past just casting normal magic, and she's casting magic from Aetherius. Even though I don't use the Aetherius magic, I imagine that her just having access to that magic heightens her current spell abilities. Which, speaking of which, I wanted to take a look at this. For one, I was thinking about the fact that I still need to get better at using our shouts more often. Which we have a full torrent of frost breath. Fire breath, we still have 2 shouts left, which I know are one of them is, and that's part of the mission, so we're not going to be able to get that. And I did look into Storm Call. Turns out the 3rd shout of Storm Call is near the very end of the game, so we won't be having that. I wanted to get the full wrath in order to use it for some of the upcoming confrontations, but we do have our full frost breath, so we're going to be using that. The other thing I wanted to look into was we have this Spirit of Magnus. I can't remember if this is something that I can actually cast and use, or if that's like, if it's buggy. Because I remember there being a few of these that are like, they're not very usable because of how buggy they can get. So, just wanting to see what this does. Makes us super glowy. Now, if I'm under the correct impression, it does what I think it does. We also might be changing the god we follow. If it does what I think it does. Yeah. It just gave us the ability to shout constantly. Very interesting. I wonder how long it lasts for. Oops, wrong one. I had a feeling that was the case, but I am now curious. Spirit of Magnus lasts for 14 minutes. Fortifies Magicka and fortifies Shout. Which is definitely something to be considered. I also found out Stormcall is a lot more devastating than I thought it was. I thought it merely just, Niziloff discovered. Oh, is this like a city? Is this the city we've been looking for? I have no idea. See what this way is. Mushrooms? Some flowers and nothing. Interesting. Alright, let's take a look around. I have to say I am not entirely sure what I'm expecting to find down here. Don't know if this is just a dungeon or if it has like another modded city or something down here. I am definitely curious on seeing what is exactly down here. The Spirit of Magnus is cool, but I don't know if we're going to use. I'm going to try and remember to use it for when we're wanting to use our shouts more often. But it is kind of annoying having the light kind of every once in a while in my face. Hmm. Getting to the point where she'll steal from gods, I think. We are going to be looking for. There is something I was thinking about. We are going to be changing back over probably to Magnus. As much as following the Daedric god of knowledge and stuff, I don't feel that I'm enjoying the mechanics of it. So we'll probably switch back for a game mechanic wise, but she'll probably still follow Hermes Mora RP wise. Oh, that was something that we just stole. I am noticing we're getting into a little bit more of like a refined area. So I am starting to wonder if maybe I should stop just pilfering everything I see. I say as I continue to pilfer everything that I see. What is this? And why is it getting red? Tempted to take all this stuff because I feel like this might be a good place to collect a good number of books that we might not have. Where are we going? And how deep is this going to go? Whoa. What petty soul gems? We are still looking for whatever that book about the... Ooh, Azura's Fury. Hello. Interesting. A spell book that we have not seen yet. Sarah probably has a very big interest in this. Cast a moving explosive projectile of shock and fire damage. Interesting. Let's take a look at this. Oh, or what? She is definitely interested in the fact that she has an Elder Scroll now, but she probably just doesn't know what to do with it. Go ahead and grab this real quick. It's kind of an annoyance that we still have the glow of the Spirit of Magnus on us. It should pass after some time. But yeah, I mostly just am deciding to go back to worshipping Magnus because I think it's better than what we were than before. Where was this? The Temple of Azura. Okay, so that makes sense. Interesting. Whoa. Okay, hello. There's some kind of like it looks kind of like a really big int or a really big spriggan. Spriggan Earth Mother. Okay then.
For Kadin!
and sap. Yeah, I don't see us using this Spirit of Magnus very often, thanks to how shiny it is. It is causing quite the issue for myself, and I can only imagine what it's doing to you guys on YouTube. We will probably not be using this ability again. Hopefully it doesn't have a super long amount of time left. I think we have like a dispel ability that might get rid of it. Let's see real quick. No, it's not there. What? It's under augmentation, isn't it? Augmentation. Exact life. Wasn't it like a dispel ability? No? Felidor's dispel. I think it's a... Apparently not. We'll probably only use Spirit of Magnus in, like, times of dire need. It makes sense since it is calling upon the spirit of a god. And for a certain degree, her patron. Or at least one of the gods she reveres. We will be switching, I will consider switching to Sithis. If we ever find out a way to switch to Sithis, I might switch to Sithis and worship Sithis. If I end up deciding that that's worth it. I have not found Sithis' altar anywhere, so I don't know what Sithis would require of us. But I could see her following Sithis because most of my characters end up revering Sithis as one of the ancient gods. Which really Sithis is more of a primordial source of energy, so she has her own reasons for why she'd be interested in it, but Sithis and Magnus are the two I think she'll focus the most on. Hermaeus Mora is one she's willing to work with, but as far as worshipping him goes, I'm seeing us not benefiting much from it, so I am considering moving past that. Let's give it an in-game hour. I was hoping that it would just kind of fade away if I did that, but it doesn't look like it. We probably are still under the effects of the Spirit of Magnus, and it probably doesn't drop while waiting. We've only got 4 minutes left, so hopefully in 4 minutes the glow disappears. If not, I may need to look into a way to fix that, or we might have to load back, which if we do, no big deal. We haven't really done anything of interest. Although I'm noticing what looks to be a Nordic rune on the compass, so I'm curious what this is going to lead us to. These crystals are quite interesting still. We still see more of these subterranean deer. Not going to hunt this particular one. No desire to right now. Spiders, and holy moly, those look huge. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Feels like a shout more than anything else.
Oh,
As long as we have this... As long as we have this Spirit of Magnus activated, I might as well attempt to utilize it. I am guessing that our Magicka is being affected by it as well, but... we're going to loot this area, and then if we are not done with the Spirit of Magnus, I'm probably going to have us quick way through it. came in unexpected. This will surely set us behind many days. It seems that there is a mine entrance off the road. From what we can see, it exists on the other side of the rocks. We should try to clear it, but we do not have time. We will take a risk and attempt to go through the mine. I will leave this page here to help others along the way. Beware of spiders if you plan to go through the mine. They have already killed a few of my soldiers. Interesting. Huh. Alright, so I will bring you guys back as soon as we are no longer glowy. See you guys in a few minutes. Alright. We are back and no longer glowing. I just basically, as you can see, I was just sitting here playing with the Frost Shout and then the Fusroda Shout, or the Fusro Shout as it currently is, due to us not having the final word of unrelenting force. But we are now going to head inside of these mines. Hopefully we will find a way through to the other side to get closer to Advenchal. And apparently, we have a desecrated corpse, which has a ton of gold on it. I hope there are more of these in here because we'll have tons of gold by the end of this then. Well, more gold than we currently have. But yeah, Sarah probably doesn't need more gold, but... But I could always have her want more gold. Definitely interesting. Not as good as Elemental Blast. Or at least doesn't seem as good as Elemental Blast. Yeah, I'm thinking if they're a desecrated corpse, I'm just gonna quick loot them since they seem to always have the same thing. And it looks like there's a lot of ingots in here as well. That's good. Commander Sparentis. Huh. I will take your armor. Take your helm. It appears that you had some orders. Let's see if we can figure out where they are in our long list of... If we did it that way, we probably just put it back in his inventory. Paranth orders. By decree of Emperor Titus Mede II. I think we're on Titus Mede III now. It might be the second. Forwarded through Epidus Rulus, Chief Commander of Sumerian Exploration and Discovery, General Commander Odius Parathius, you have hereby been deemed a leader, commander, and four-wheeled general to the Azura Tree Exploration mission. An exploration secret mission in relation to the mythical rumors surfacing over the last few years. Odysseus, I know this is a bad time. I send my condolences about your loss, but we must press on His Majesty's claim. This is the top secret priority. As is ordered, you will reorganize a party of your finest men and meet at the East Empire Trading Company docks in Solitude on Morandus. If your family inquires about your departure, you are to tell them that you have been called to a war council summit and will remain away for an undisclosed amount of time. Parthian, I write you this as a friend. Give your final goodbyes to your family when you leave. So many who venture after the tree never return, but we have His Majesty's great army and will not be deterred by mythical rumors of danger. May the Eight watch over you. No wonder he ended up dying. Disrespect towards the Nine. Sarah would feel like it would be disrespectful towards the Nine to call them the Eight, because they did acknowledge Talos's growth to being a divine. As far as game-wise goes, I would say that it's been proven with the Knights of Nine questline from the previous Skyrim. Um, there's probably a big debate on this for some people of whether or not Talos is a god or not. And I can understand why the people of Cyrodiil are kind of divided about it. It's the same reason why I can understand why there would be atheists in Skyrim. But I also have to agree that I think it's kind of ridiculous to toss away what Sarah basically sees as obvious truth, in the fact that Talos is a god. She also probably feels like she should respect Talos with a little bit, since he was a dragonborn as well. So there's probably some consideration of semblance there.
Fools, row!
I shout at those because if you shout at the one in the underground, you'll get with the Unrelenting Force shout, you get a dragon fight. But I'm under the impression it has to be all three of them, and we don't have those yet. Whoa. I think it's sieging them? Hello, corrupted shade. Go ahead and lay down. Imperial sword. Does that mean the Imperials were corrupted by something and are now sieging the city? You can actually activate the catapult to fire it again, which I always thought was cool. Would you knock it off? Shades. We also noticed that they said Empire Trading Company, and we saw some marks on some boxes about that. Imperial Siege Log. I'm not reading another book. I'm hoping there was nothing of use in here. Sarah has been working on getting more and more stuff for her collection. Clothes, empty wine bottle, jug, leather straps, potion of cure poison. Not thinking of that other junk. I like how it's a map, but it's just a map of Skyrim. Sounds like my phone just went off for some reason. Probably just letting me know that the event that I was part of is over. In some clicker game I was playing. So, that's definitely the Stormcloak banner. Why is the Stormcloak banner down here? And I feel like I hear something. Am I going to get myself involved in a war? That's what it sounds like. It sounds like combat. Sounds like people yelling in combat. Interesting. Maybe they're just shades of an old war that's trapped here for an eternity. Weird. Keep forgetting we don't have survival mode turned on. Abandoned house. Oh, that actually made me jump. Ooh, Spookfest. Oh, there's more of them. I do love keening as a weapon. I feel like it's one of the best weapons in the game. Alright, let's check upstairs. Argonian accounts and the Wolf Queen. Pretty sure we have the Wolf Queen Volume 3. I think we have the Argonian account book, but we'll take it anyways. The more I can claim, the better. Ooh, Frostbite Venom. I did play a character recently that the god or goddess that she's worshiping, I don't remember the name. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was Miranda, but whichever one it was, she like wants my character to poison her weaponry, which is very new for me. She's an archer, so it's very much a interesting bit of play that I have not done. One of the things I like about having having gods or goddesses that you worship, they can kind of push you into doing certain things you're not used to doing. I do feel like I should keep pressing, but I am one who enjoys exploration, especially in the stuff I've never seen before. This being a key point of it. More shades. Kinda wish I had something that was more effective against them. I could do with a bunch more of these desecrated corpses. I'm curious if we're going to find out why these shades are here. At first I was like, this is just like her quest, but then I realized I'm confusing that with Meridia and her beacon. Which, it wasn't Meridia that I was worshipping, because I know for a fact that wasn't the case. We'll check this abandoned house. Oh god, that's a lot of you. Go away. Go away. Go away. Sheesh. Lots of food. A couple of skeletons. What's in here? I'm mostly just looking for anything useful. Or something, or things that are rare. I'll take the girl's dress and the stuff, other stuff in there that I was not exactly useful, but might as well grab it. I have considered Sarah getting married, although I don't know who she would marry in Skyrim. I don't know a lot of the male people, and I don't know if I'd want her to marry a female. Not because I don't have any issues with that, I just don't know if that's what Sarah would do. Technically in D&D she married a female, so that's an argument. And while she didn't have a girlfriend prior to the D&D campaign, she was traveling with a pair of girlfriends. Who were Veronica and Vanessa, their names technically pulled out of my head, but their backstory is completely based on a relationship between Elphaba and Glinda from The Wizard of Oz, or at least Wicked. We're not going into another abandoned house. Unless I feel like I need to go into an abandoned house, or the quest takes us into an abandoned house, I'm not going into another abandoned house. Let's travel over this way, maybe? I'm trying to figure out which way we're supposed to go. I'm having a hard time figuring that out. Nope, not up here. But yeah, she was traveling with Veronica and Vanessa, who they were girlfriends. They originally hated each other, based on the song Loathing in Wicked, but eventually they found that they were actually in love with each other. Which, I'm not going to sit here and talk too much on it since it's not part of the story, since it's not part of really what's going on, but in the song Loathing, if you completely follow what's going on in that song, it's kind of understandable that Glinda and Elphaba are probably in love with each other, and they just don't realize it. At least that's what it seemed like to me. Okay, I can't seem to... I don't think clairvoyance is going to work here. Yeah, no. Clairvoyance is not going to work here. And I don't know where to go from here because I don't think I can get over this wall. Oh, yep, I can. Probably not the intended way, but whatever. That was annoying. These are more of these shades. I think that one actually had a bow, and which was wanting to attack me with the bow, but he was out of ammo. I think. Let's go back this way real quick, because I want to see where we were supposed to go. I think... Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm kind of a fool. We went up into the castle. We should have gone back and then down into the city. I didn't realize the two weren't connected. Or, I guess that's probably a fortress, or it might be a castle, but I think it might be a fortress also. Because I would think that if it's a castle, it would be, you'd have to go through the city to get there, not that it would be next to the city. But, I don't know. Who knows? I personally, if I was going to build a city with a fortress, I would either have the fortress be required to go through to get to the city, or if it was a castle, you'd have to go through the city to get to the castle. Depending on whether or not it's defending a kingdom, or if it's defending the city itself. Oh my lord! Look at all of the red dots. Come on. There we go. Wow, there's a lot of you. But yeah, so she traveled with two female friends. Might have been what eventually led her to fall in love with the female companion of D&D, though I think it was more of the fact that the two of them had a lot in common. They both were very broken souls that needed a lot of help together to recover. Bandit, which we could take into consideration that the bandit is here because of it being a okay, so it's jammed from the other side. Sure. I think they were planning on that leading to a cell, but it didn't. We keep going, or do I keep exploring? I like exploring. Oh, a necromancer. That was different. Although this is an apprentice necromancer, I'm now wondering if maybe we'll find more necromancers, and that's what these corrupted shades are all about. That book. The Staff of Reanimation. Statue to Talos. Speaking of Talos, we're getting close to the end of this episode. I'm going to push it a little bit longer. A master vampire. Was he trying to resurrect the master vampire? Interesting. More of the statues of Azura around here. Still in this, we're still part of the city that was... I don't know if this is the city we were looking for, or if this is another city that we found on the way there. I feel like we would have gotten a little bit more about it, this being the place, if this was the place.
Boost! Roll!
I think that's the main issue I have with shouts in this game. They're not very effective. I almost expect to walk into this and start taking damage or something. Anything else? Well, guessing we're supposed to go through these doors. Another very clever way of breaking up the area so that the loading doesn't hurt as much. And back into the caves themselves. Dang. That looks weird. Whoa. These more of the crystals, they're just more refined. I have wanted to understand what these crystals are all about. Because I know where they're from in the game, which makes it very interesting to me, because they're from inside of a soul gem. We'll see it later when we go into a soul gem for one of the quests to get a Daedric artifact. Surface lift discovered. Another lift to the surface. Let's go up and see where we come out in Skyrim this time. We could take a break from being down here. I do feel like we are getting to that point where it wouldn't be too wrong of us to want to take a break. We are now in the far south of Skyrim. Holy moly. It's very tempting to stay up here and do some stuff in Skyrim, but I still want to keep pushing. Although, I am now interested to notice that we are about as far south of Skyrim as I think you can get. Alright, let's head back down. Let's see. That's the way back where we came from, so let's keep moving in this direction. We have another route to the surface, though, if we need one, although we're only halfway right now without the Ring of Ancients, so we'll keep pushing. Note about mammoths. The mammoths in this area are remarkable. They are extremely docile and shouldn't even exist this far underground. It is extremely unnatural. Maybe they were herded here by ancient giants. Who knows? Don't attack the mammoths unless you want an herd on you angrier than the depths of oblivion. That's how we lost Jacob. Interesting. Apparently the mammoths down here are very docile, but you don't want to harm them because then they all become enemies. Ooh. You guys good? You guys chill? Yeah, you guys chill. We're not going to hurt them. Sarah has no reason to want to fight mammoths right now and definitely doesn't want to have to deal with a bunch of them getting angry with her. Good training for Magicka, but not something she's interested in at this moment. But we seem to be getting closer and closer, and these crystals are becoming more and more common. But we will find that out in the next one. I'll see you guys in the next one.